Hello there. Here, what is it? Saturday, December 22nd. Still in Goa, and full moon, which is why I'm doing a nighttime vlog with my awesome lighting equipment here. Everything's good, the other day at the beach, we had a little scare with Ari. Had to take him to the hospital. He got stung or bitten, whatever you call it, by a Portuguese man of war. I don't know. It's like a jellyfish, but a little bit more intense in terms of what the pain is, I guess. But he got through it, and in good spirits, and we're just gearing up for a very different Christmas than we've ever had. It's nice to not really have to worry about gifts to buy, because we're certainly not doing that in terms of anything that we're going to take with us. Probably get them a bag of Skittles or something. Actually, I think we did pick up a bag of Skittles tonight. Stuff like that that can be enjoyed and left behind. Been really kind of trying to dig in deep, doing a lot of studying, and I'm actually trying again, maybe not tomorrow but Monday, to get back on a very, not strict but routine schedule with the kids. Feeling that kind of slips away from us, and then the purpose gets kind of lost. But at least for me, I know that I'm really taking, I think, advantage of this time to really kind of examine who I'm becoming, who I want to be, who I've been, and then most importantly, who I am. Trying to live very much in the present. Try not to worry too much about the future. Try not to regret the past. Learn from it, move on. And I've been doing a lot of reading, like I said, and I've been reading Nagarjuna. He's like a 1st, 2nd century Buddhist monk, philosopher, and a lot of his work. So I'm specifically reading his treatise on the middle way, and it's very reminiscent to me of Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, and it's very kind of I'm not even sure the word to describe it, other than it can be confusing in its simplicity. But I was working on the 23rd chapter, and God, I can't remember what verse it was, probably the 8th or 9th verse. But it's talking about, it's talking about all sorts of things. But it was, in this particular passage, it was talking about the pleasant. And it was saying that, pleasant is designated off of the unpleasant. And at the same time, the unpleasant gets its definition off of what's pleasant. So essentially, unpleasant, pleasant doesn't exist. And it's like, wow, well, that kind of makes sense. I can wrap my head around that. And then it took it to the point of like, okay, so if there's no pleasant, then attachment doesn't really exist. And if there's no unpleasant, then hatred doesn't really exist. And I see where he's going with this, and it's a great tool, I find, to use to kind of battle all these distinctions that I make in my head, and all of these, dealing with like emotions, and not that you're trying to become a robot or anything, but the idea that or at least for me, my understanding of it is that, you know, you feel these emotions, but you don't get too bogged down on them. You don't let them, you know, get you all distraught, high or low. Just kind of like let them come through you. And I don't know, it's just it's very, for like a brief moment when I read it, I felt like a flash, and I was like, wow, this is brilliant. And I immediately had to, you know, discuss it with Zave, because he was right there. It was right after our morning exercises and meditation walk. And then I ran into the room and was telling Laura about it, and she's like, that's great, but I think it's too early for this for me. But I don't know, it's kind of been on my mind all day, and you know, hopefully I can kind of refine my understanding of it and really put it into practice and help battle feelings of attachment and hatred that I come across in my head. So that's what I've been thinking about. Welcome to my world. All right, love you guys. Bye.